everyone, and welcome back to Sauti Briefs, your one-stop shop for conservation news in Kenya and Africa. My name is Natasha, and before we proceed, I'd like to thank all our subscribers and social media followers for supporting our content. And if you'd like to keep up to date with what's coming next, please consider subscribing and following us at Uvumbuzi Africa across the platforms. Without further ado, let's do this.
On the 12th of August, the world celebrated World Elephant Day, which provided an opportunity for the African continent to assess the current status of elephant populations in the face of climate change, habitat loss, and population dispersal. Elephant conservation efforts in Africa are the subject of a global debate between two conservation camps. On the one hand, several African countries are struggling to protect their elephant populations, while on the other, many are having difficulty managing the vast populations and reporting an increase in cases of human-wildlife conflict as a result. According to the most recent National Wildlife Census, Kenya's elephant populations are estimated at 36,280 as of 2021. While the recent statistics are an improvement from those in 1989, which stood at a devastating 16,000, climate change is exacting its toll on Kenya's elephant population and threatening to undo this progress. According to reports, the Kenyan government considers climate change to be a greater threat to the population of these gentle giants than poaching. For instance, the Tsavo National Park in Kenya, one of the world's largest parks, recorded the deaths of 179 elephants due to drought between the months of January and July in 2022. Only 9 elephants were killed by poaching during the same period. In response to this emerging crisis, the government of Kenya has developed an 8-year adaptation strategy to mitigate the impacts of climate change and wildlife populations, including our beloved elephants. On the other side of the coin, huge elephant concentrations in a few countries are creating new issues. These countries are home to the majority of Africa's elephants, and they are now complaining that the jumbos have reached overpopulation, which they claim is causing increased human-wildlife conflict and a growing ecological crisis. According to the vice chairman of Chobe Enclave Conservation Trust in Botswana, elephant population growth in southern African countries is due to transboundary translocation of the species rather than reproduction. He explains that because elephants are intelligent beings with impeccable memory, they can recall safer ecosystems from their migration patterns where there is less conflict over resources with other animals or humans and choose to remain permanently. 6 Southern African countries, including Angola, Botswana, and Namibia, also attribute the population boom on the existing CITES international ban on ivory trade that has been in place for 33 years. CITES banned international commercial trade in ivory in 1989, but allowed Botswana, Namibia, and Zimbabwe to sell 50 and 108 tons of ivory to Japan and China respectively in 1997 and 2008. The 6 nations are now demanding the lifting of the ban, alleging that the blanket ban punishes them for the success of their wildlife conservation efforts. They also argue that if there is a notable increase in benefits to the communities that bear the cost of living alongside these elephants, then there will be more incentive to conserve them. This is not the first time that the Southern African bloc of elephant range states has attempted and failed to lift the ban. Because of the frustration caused by this opposition, some countries have threatened to withdraw from the CITES agreement. Other countries have also chosen what some consider extreme management measures, such as Zimbabwe, which previously carried out elephant culls, slaughtering over 50,000 animals. Kenya is among the African countries that vehemently oppose any attempt to lift the ban, stating that it will only lead to an increased bloodlust for poachers that will further threaten the already endangered species. As the debate continues across the continent, we'd like to hear what you think. Do you support the proposed lifting of the ivory trade ban? Also, what solutions do you think can effectively manage the overwhelming elephant populations in Southern Africa? Leave your thoughts in the comments section and let's talk about it. On our second story today, we discuss how clean energy is boosting Kenya's global position. Renewable energy sources account for more than 75% of Kenya's installed power generation capacity, including geothermal, hydro, wind, and solar energy. Over the last 20 years, state and private sector initiatives have boosted Kenya's global position in the development of these renewable energy sources. According to the Global Electricity Review 2022, for the first time, wind and solar-generated energy accounts for more than 10% of electricity globally. Kenya is one of the countries that has contributed to this unprecedented occurrence, ranking 9th among the world's largest wind energy producers and achieving the largest year-on-year increase from 11% in 2020 to 16% by the end of 2021. The Lake Turkana Wind Power Project in Marsabit County that was launched by President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2019 is credited for Kenya's global position in wind energy production. The project has an installed capacity of 310 megawatts of clean, reliable, low-cost energy, the biggest wind power plant in Africa. The LTWP wind farm is connected to the Kenyan national grid through a 435-kilometer associated transmission line and is currently operating at a capacity of 75.8% efficiency. The African continent boasts more than 40% of the world's solar potential. Migration to solar power is steadily gaining momentum in Kenya, especially in the industrial sector, linked to its lower cost compared to power from the national grid in the face of high fuel prices, which make thermal power generation expensive. To keep up with this growing demand and further Kenya's position as a global leader in green and affordable energy, the government has announced plans for a new 6.4 billion Kenya shilling solar plant in Kibos, Kisumu County. The proposed 40-megawatt Solar One PV project is to be established by a US firm and has received all government approvals, ready for commissioning in December 2023. The project was aimed at providing clean and affordable energy to residents, creating jobs for the youth, and improving Kenya's global competitiveness. According to the IEA's World Energy Investment Report 2022, the immediate and absolute priority for Africa and the international community is to provide modern and affordable energy to all Africans, and then this can be accomplished by the end of the decade. Through our Net Zero Carbon program, Uvumbuzi Africa continues to encourage all Kenyans to help mitigate the global warming crisis through sustainable livelihoods and the use of clean, renewable energy.
Thanks so much for watching. And as we continue to build Kenya's future following our recent elections, Uvumbuzi Africa would like to congratulate all Kenyans who participated in the democratic process and urges everyone to value peace and patriotism above all else. From me, it's Asante. Till next time.